Why does Jalen Brunson have the Mamba mentality?
The Mamba mentality, the real one, not the commercialized Mamba mentality, but just everybody throw it out. Where, they hyper-focus in the last few minutes of the game, where precision kicks in, where all details matter, where no matter what happened, what they were doing, those first 43 minutes of the game, it's all irrelevant, right? This is killer time, and he's probably one of the only players that I've seen in a long time. Kyrie's shown a lot of it. Dame showed a lot of it, but consistently, game after game, series after series, he seems like the only one that I've seen in a long time that is the Mamba mentality, the real definition of what the snake is.
I like it. And when you look at Jalen Brunson, would you say that he's a player in the league that has the Mamba mentality?
Of course. I think everybody knows where I stand with it all. I said he was going to be who he is right now. Other people said he should go to Phoenix and be a fourth option. That he wasn't the number one option on the championship team. Here we are, headed towards the championship. New York is now a culture's son. And it is what it is, B? You heard?
I have heard.
You heard? You have heard, all right. Everybody is hearing now. Cat is in the building now. Told Jordan to give him some catnip before the game so he could go crazy.
He got the New York accent down.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
from Jersey, but
Rucker Park, bro.
So, Mr. B, obviously, we talked a lot about Haliburton versus Jalen Brunson, but when you look at Jalen Brunson, what he's been able to do past few seasons with the Knicks.
He's been doing his thing. Last year he got kicked out. Got kicked out by Indiana. This year I'm sure he has a lot of revenge on him, so I'm sure he's going to have that Mamba mentality that they've been saying. But, it's another guy on that other side of that floor too, man. That has a chip on his shoulder also. And he has a lot to prove also too. So, and when he wants to kick into that mode with 5 minutes to go and taking over games, he can do that also. Yeah. And he also has four or five different guys in double figures in scoring.
So obviously hindsight 2020, but any chance Dallas ends up regretting letting Brunson walk more than trading Luka?
I don't.
Nah, I think it was for the best.
Yeah, does Brunson end up being the same player he is if he stays in Dallas? His game probably gets time, and he gets to come to New York.
It was for the best. It was for the best for Brunson. Yeah. I mean, Dallas, they still got the number one pick. They still got, they still got their pieces over there. But for Brunson, I'm looking at it like shit. It was a blessing. I'm in New York, biggest market, Eastern Conference Finals. Like, I got a chance to do something that hasn't been done in New York for a long time. Different.
Agreed.
Okay.
You got blessed into a right situation.
Seems like the ideal, perfect thing. They've cultivated this team around and brought some of his Nova Knicks through there.
That's what the underdog situation, it allows you to present yourself in opportunity to mold something from the start. You know what I'm saying? I think New York needed somebody to come in and help Julius Randle make it look like something. You had RJ and those guys up there trying to do something in New York. They were all young. You bring Brunson in and you start getting some type of structure. And I think it all comes from his dad, to be honest.
Who was on the Knicks coaching staff. Shout out Rick Brunson.
He don't get enough credit. I think he should get more credit of how he's cultivated a leader in Jalen to understand it ain't about me, it's about we. It's about we. It's we, not me. And when it's we, not me, everybody eats. Because it's New York, son. Everybody eats, B.
Everybody, like father and like son. Rick Brunson on the last Eastern Conference Final team in 2000. Now his
Brunson
son.
be the shortest guard to win it since.
If they win a championship,
right, he'll be like
since Isaiah Thomas,
right? Because how tall is he?
In the last 50 years,
like 6'1",
6'2". Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. So he'll be.
As the main guard, yes, as the number one option. The last one was Isaiah Thomas.
Wow.
I mean, Steph is 6'4", but if you're gonna use Steph, it's them three in the last 50-something years. Yeah.
Okay.
So Knicks bested Boston 6 games, but had to overcome 20-point deficits game 1 and 2.
They bested who?
Boston.
The Celtics?
Yes. The New York Knickerbockers in their previous series.
Go ahead, continue. My bad.
Okay, overcame 20-point deficits in game 1 and 2, trailed by as much as 14 points in 5 of the 6 games in the series. Obviously, they spoke at length about how they would like to avoid doing that. Obviously, love winning those games, but would not want to put themselves in a position to have to come back from those deficits. So what do the Knicks need to do to be more consistent and avoid having to overcome big deficits in this series?
Oh, yeah. Lakers in 5.
What would the Knicks have to do?
Lakers in 5. That's what they need to just think about that. Lakers in 5. We don't want to be like them. We get it right. Lakers in 5. No.
It ain't gonna be that easy now. You know, they got
Lakers
Holly
in
over
5.
there that can run the show, and you know when they're making shots and they have 4 or 5 guys in double figures in scoring, Indiana's dangerous.
Yeah.
Your take on Siakam, not taking the next leap, but I think everything that he's done for that team, Indiana has been good, for them.
And we'll talk Siaka about the Pacers in a moment, but you're just looking at this Knicks squad. Been great at times, been terrible at times. Terrible on the defensive side, communication issues, not having a sense of urgency. Had to have a team meeting after the Celtics smacked them in Game 5 to get their minds right. We talked about that earlier this week. Gil, I see you staring at me. No issue with this Pacers squad that defeated them last season. Obviously, it was a different Knicks team.
They didn't defeat the New York Knicks. They defeated a bench squad last year.
No OG Anunoby, Brunson hurt.
Yeah, they defeated a bench squad. So if they can go into this series thinking that this is the New York team that they played last year when it's not. Right? They played against a bunch of 6th, 7th, 8th men. Right? There's a Mikal Bridges. There's a Cat.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been playing like kitty cat, but
Cat
hopefully he comes in as Tony the Tiger because this could be his series. But it's not the same team, right? So they could and should get their ass smacked out the building.
So do you feel like, Gil, Cat is the X factor in the series? You said this could be his series. Why do you feel that way?
Because he's playing against a guy that's kind of like him, not very physical, right? So it plays to how he plays the game. Listen, as long as he's going to give you the 19 to 23 and 10. He's not the X. The X factor is that OG dude. OG is the X factor here because he was horrible in the last series. I mean, it was a game where I think he had 2, 4. He had a 2 game, he had a 4 game, he had a 5 game, I think, in the last series, and they beat the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, but maybe
right. So if he just is consistent across the board, if he just averages, just average 15, this is a different series.
So 5 in Game 2, 2 in Game 3.
For this game?
5 points in Game 2, 2 points in Game 3, 6 points in Game 5.
Yeah. See, them games, he can't have those games. He can't have that now. We need consistent, right? The Nova Knicks, they consistent at what they do. So them 3, we good. Cat, if you bring what you bring, that's good. If OG brings this just 15 to 17 guaranteed, this series is over.
That's gonna be tough against Siakam.
Siakam can't stick everybody.
Well, he'll be guarding him, right? Right.
I mean,
and then Cat and Miles Turner, they exit each other out.
They might put Siakam on Cat.
So, Mr. B, I know where
they weird over there in Indiana.
I know where your allegiances lie in this particular series, but who's the X factor for the Knicks in the series?
Whoa, no, ask him who the X factor is. Who's going to help the X factor over there with the Indianas?
Oh, Siakam, for sure.
Okay, well, that's not
wow.
Yeah. What was the question?
Who's the X factor for the New York Knickerbockers?
Damn, they hate the Knicks that bad. They don't even want to talk on the Knicks.
He's Indiana.
Yeah.
So I said, tell him to talk about his team. So the X factor is the number 1 option. Or the second?
Number 2 option.
So you don't. So the number 2 option. So
yeah,
you don't even rely him just to be the number 2 option.
Yeah, he's number 2, and then Miles Turner and Cat, they exit each other out. So that's whatever. I mean, yeah. And then
they just exit each other, huh?
Yeah, they the
Nigga
same.
just averaged 24 and just watch that shit, huh? Just
He won't do it. He won't do it this series.
he just watch that, huh? Just 12, just watch it out, just 24. Right?
Listen. They're gonna be the same in this series.
Let's move over to Sonny.
Hey, how
He
tall
used
is
to make
Curry?
money.
How tall is Curry?
6'3".
6'3", 6'3" and a half. Almost.
Shoes.
My shoes.
Yeah, why?
I'm just. They think he's 6'1" because he's skinny.
Who, Steph?
Yeah.
Nigga, Steph is like 6'3". What the fuck? Who said
I
that?
don't know. The other the chat think he's little.
No, Steph.
He's
He's skinny.
in Baltimore.
He's not.
You
long.
stood next to him, or
I was standing next to him.
You stood next to him, and
Yeah.
you said that he was much taller than.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
they gave him
much
credit.
taller than I thought he was.
Sonny properly moisturized the curl. Who is the X factor in this series for the Knicks?
Josh Hart. Josh Hart. Josh is the heart of the Knicks. So when Josh shows up to do more than the bare minimum, the Knicks, they steamroll. They play at a certain level of urgency that, Josh resonates throughout the whole. Like, if you're not doing what Josh is doing, it's almost like get off the court type shit. He ain't got to say nothing. I like that energy, and I think Brunson feeds off of that because he knows that that's Josh telling him to pick it up. And I think when that happens, Bridges sees it as all right, I take the challenge too. So they start hitting shots. They start hustling harder. And then you got Mitchell Robinson. He goes out there. He can be another X factor that can get you a double-double out of nowhere, get you 3 blocks. He hustles between those two. I'm looking for those guys to show up. It ain't too much now at this point. You hear, might as well win. It's in New York. We are New York. It's why not? Why not?
You're
Yeah, got that boy coming in town. Telling y'all. Part 2.
Part 2. All right, so let's shift over to the Pacers side of this preview. Pacers had the Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight season. Last season, they got swept by the Celtics. They posted gentleman sweeps against the Bucks and top-seeded Cavs this postseason. Both of those squads were dealing with injuries to key players. Tyrese Haliburton been trying to send a message after getting named the league's most overrated player. 10 games this postseason, Hallie's averaging 18 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 48, 34, 79 shooting splits. Enters the conference finals coming off arguably his best game this postseason, where he dropped 31 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds to eliminate the Cavs in Game 5. So, Mr. B, which version of Tyrese Haliburton do the Pacers need to be successful in the Eastern Conference Finals?
What's this sign say? Hostile territory.
Hostile territory.
That's the approach that he needs.
Very hostile.
Yeah, the whole series. I mean, they doubted you. They said you was the worst, most overrated player. They kicked your dad out. They don't like you. You look like you're a stand-up guy. You get your teammates involved. You play, you know what I'm saying? You play the point guard position like a pure point guard that I haven't seen in a minute. And yeah, man, at the end of the day, it's an exciting time, though. Like I said before, for each of these teams, for each of these young superstars, because somebody's about to, hold up that crown for the first time.
So need you two gentlemen to remove your Knicks bias for just a moment.
Yeah, come on, man.
For just a moment.
And Rick Carlisle, shout out him.
Shout out Jim Carrey. Which version of Tyrese Haliburton do the Pacers need to be successful in the Eastern Conference Finals? We got the scoring Hallie, we got the facilitating Hallie. Sometimes they come together.
I'm just gonna go with statistics. And statistics is playing against Hallie, and the statistics are because he averages a lot of assists, and he's the point guard on the team. It would be hard for them to win a championship because that means there's not a go-to guy on the team. Because if there's a go-to guy on the team, that guy has the ball majority of the time. So it would be hard for Hallie to be Hallie. So the fact that he is the best player and he's the point guard and he's averaging about 9 assists, in history's shown that is actually hard to do. Kyle Lowry averaged, 8.7 assists, I think. He was a second or third option, whatever you want to call him. Jason Kidd, second option to Dirk. Then after that, you're talking about going all the way back to Magic Johnson. So the fact that if your point guard is averaging 9, 10 assists, that means your fucking team is not that good individually. So he's going to have to average about 26, 27, and 7. Right, once he starts getting into that 10, 11, 12 assist games, that means, the people around him are just sitting there like atmosphere waiting to be fed.
So Pacers had 7 players average double figures during the regular season, but you're saying that needs to shift. They can't distribute the ball around that and get balance.
History says it needs to shift, not me. History. The average point guard, the average assist for a point guard that won a championship, average since, if you take Magic out and then go last 30-something years, last 40 years, you're talking about an average about 4.1 assists a game.
So that can't change?
It could change. No, what I'm saying is no lead point guard that averaged that many assists has won a championship. Right? So that's like Kyle Lowry is the one who has the most assists in regular season that won the chip. Then from there it was like the Admiral, what's his name?
So what does Luka average?
Huh? Avery Johnson. So Avery Johnson, Kid when he went to Dallas the second time.
So what does
and
Luka
Kyle
average?
Lowry. Huh?
I said, what does Luka average in assists?
He's averaging 9. They didn't win the championship, so.
They did not.
Did Holly make it to the conference finals last year?
He did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals with his Pacers squad.
He averaged like 26.
Let me see. I do not think so. Let me pull it up.
I don't see why we would have to change anything that we've done to get here successfully 2 years in a row. Now with a healthy group. I think we just need energy. You know what kind of energy we need?
18-9-4 in the Eastern Conference
We
Finals.
need Bucks energy. We need Bucks energy. That's what Brandon didn't say. Brandon's supposed to tell Holly, you're supposed to play like you played against us.
So we have the same thing as we did last year?
2 games in the Eastern Conference.
Woo! I don't know like Holly need to do nothing but just say, yeah, it's the Bucks, Dame and them. I'm gonna give y'all that energy because we know where that energy takes us. That's all he need to do.
Against
Water boy.
Against the hurt Bucks?
Water boy. Think about water boy. You know, water
You
boy.
have to give more than that.
Water sucks. Think about the Bucks. Water sucks.
Now he got
High quality H2O.
But New York a different team though than the Bucks.
Yeah, no, just motivation. We just talking about motivation for Holly. He already took down a couple dudes. Just look at him like them. You had energy for them. Remember your pops, he was on there like this? Remember how y'all was calling me overrated? Y'all was talking all that shit to me? Yeah, we got that same energy.
So let's talk a little bit about Pascal Siakam, first or second option, depending on how you view it. Led the Pacers in scoring in the regular season, 20 points per game. Like I said, something like their number one option, up for debate. So far in this playoffs, Siakam averaging 19.6 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 55% from the field, 44% from 3. But Gil, you said that's not enough. He needs to take over and be dominant.
One of them have to be dominant because, I mean, you got fucking third options averaging 20 points a game. Or damn near close. So, I mean, you're
Yeah, but we
You're
got
playing
7.
again.
But we got 7 different guys in double figures in scoring. So that means
Pass the ball.
it's like the ball.
But that's just happened to Wolves. Wolves thought that same shit. That means your 5th and 6th and 7th option is taking 15, 16 shots. Oh, that's your chance of winning?
No.
So let's try like this. If Brunson took 13 shots and Josh Hart took 15, do you think they won that game?
I mean, depends on.
Man, this is-
Yeah.
I mean, but shit, but
Yeah.
Brunson gonna get to the free throw line.
And
So
Josh is going to have a triple-double.
I'm just
So
saying.
Pacers got 5 players averaging more than 10 field goal attempts per game. Siakam leads them at 13.9
So that mean the ball is-
14. Hallie at 13.3.
Team game. It's
Miles
we, not
Turner at
me.
11.
Please don't change. Please don't
I
change.
just feel like Holly at the last 5 minutes, he's gonna end up taking over the game. But I just like the fact that dude, they be 7 dudes in double figures scoring. How you gonna beat?
That sounds
that
Good
means
team
that-
basketball.
sounds cool. I go with history, man. I don't go with my opinion. I go with the history. History tells you what's History's saying OKC is winning the championship. If OKC is winning the championship, history is saying it. I'm sorry.
So, are you saying that basically back to these Pacers, that Hallie and Siakam need to basically just take over, and one of the two of them?
One or both of them both need to dominate. If I'm relying on my third or fourth option to be me, I mean, that's what we're talking about. You go back to Shaq and Kobe. I'm expecting Rick Fox to average 14 for us to win. No, we have to be dominant for them to be open. So you can listen. If it's working for you up to this far, keep doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you what history is saying. History is saying that this is an OKC championship. If Knicks make it to the championship and Wolves make it, Knicks is making it to the winning championship. Holly has a damn near 0% chance of winning. He'll be the first person in history, be the best player, and average that many assists and win a chip. History is not on his side the way he plays the game. Because it shows no one is dominating individually that's putting the team in danger. That's what history is saying.
What are his stats through the games from the last series?
Okay.
And there was nobody dominant on the Pistons when they won the championship.
The Pistons?
Rip?
Nobody dominant.
Rip was the number one.
So nobody dominant.
So versus the Cavs in the Eastern semis, he averaged 17.7 assists, 5 rebounds.
No, I'm saying, give me the 4 games. What was his points?
So
70 fucking years ago.
Game 1, 22 and 13 assists.
Series.
21.
22 and 13 assists. Game 2, 19, 4 assists. Game 3, 4 points, 5 assists. Game 4, 11, 5 and 5. And then in Game 5, he had 31.6 rebounds, 8 assists.
And they ended up winning 4-1.
They won 4-1.
And how many games did he have less than 15 points?
2 of those games.
2 of those games. He don't have to do all that shit to get a W. He know that because he got his guys playing well. And if I need to step out and step on you, I will, and I'll show you that. It's good, but he's going up against the Knicks. You heard?
I have heard.
Different beast.
All right, let's go. Series predictions. Mr. B, we'll start with you. Who wins the Eastern Conference Finals and how many games?
Pacers in 7.
Pacers in 7. Let's move over.
I want to say Knicks in 4.
You think
but
Knicks get the
I'm
split?
going to be reasonable and say Knicks in... I'm gonna say 6, but it's gonna be 5.
So Gil says Knicks.
I'm
is
saying 6, but it's gonna be 5.
But it's gonna be 5. Okay. Let's move over to Sonny.
I'm broke, baby.
I'm broke, baby.
Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6.
Oh, Lakers in 5.
We are no
Keep
longer talking
forgetting about the
Los
Lakers. They're
Angeles
still
Lakers.
playing, right? They're volleyball in Cancun.
Spirit
Lakers in
A lot
5.
of teams there with them.
Taco
Celtics right there
Tuesday.
Jalen
Hey, are
Brown.
the Lakers going to come to New York? Are the Lakers going to come to New York?
For what?
For the game.
Are we? No, we smoked the Celtics pack.
No.
You guys are on your own now.
Oh, shit.
We smoked the Celtics pack.
What?
Our job is done. We've done all that we can.
That's crazy.
Nah,
We've done all that we can.
That's crazy.
All right, we got one last thing to talk about before we get to mostly fans.